Welcome to another episode of Roll for Crit. I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes. Hope everyone's been enjoying their week so far. You've been enjoying your week?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good for me too. Well, we've got some new game announcements to kick things off. Mm-hmm. Some old favorites and some brand new and some I don't want to play. So first up, if you didn't see last week, we just put out our playback episode for Ticket to Ride, which was very exciting. You should definitely go watch it if you get the chance. Well, we found out that in October at Essen, they're going to be premiering a brand new map for Ticket to Ride.
Yep, it is the map of the UK, if I'm correct.
It is the
United
UK,
Kingdom.
But that's not all.
Oh, that's not all.
If you flip I think it's on the reverse side of the board. It might be a different board. You also get a map of Pennsylvania, the state.
Of course, because you know the two, really.
Like peanut butter and jelly. I guess Pennsylvania has a rich railroad history. So what's cool that's different about, as far as I know, that's new, I think it's maybe only in the Pennsylvania side. Mm-hmm. There's stocks now. So if you have a route, you actually are like investing in like that railroad company or whatever, and that section of the map. So there's a new avenue to that. And of course it comes with more cards, more train cards, stuff like that.
Well, and this is new. This is number 4 in Ticket to Ride.
Brand new.
So my guess is, I mean, first of all, UK was an obvious. It was a pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, as soon as they found out, I think it was Scotland, decided not to secede. They're like, okay, we can do the map, we can do it now.
They've been holding it off on that for years.
But they probably paused it as soon as they heard things. Like, okay, wait. But this would probably be a good way to test it out without releasing a whole new expansion, because odds are people will still like buying for the UK map if they just like regular Ticket to Ride. But now you have the Pennsylvania version with new rules, and they can find out if people are like, yeah, this is good, or don't do this again.
I think they're going to have like a new set for every state?
I wouldn't say every state, but they might do something like certain areas. It might not even be like all of North America. Maybe like it'll just be the West Coast or something, like, right. Or anywhere that trains might have a significant, I don't know, interest, like where you can do stock. I mean, I have to play the stock version to really give you.
Yeah, that definitely makes it sound like Monopoly or something. I'm curious.
Yeah, it depends how it works.
Curious to see how that goes. And the UK version is only for 2 to 4 players as well. Sorry, 5th player. We also got a new announcement from Portal Games, a new card game that's actually a rebranding of an old one that is now in the Neuroshima Hex universe called Neuroshima Convoy.
So what was the old one?
Well, I don't know. Okay. I think the old one was just Convoy.
Oh, okay.
But the theme in this one is it was The Convoy, is the original one. Okay. Called. This one, it's a 2-player game. Mm-hmm. It's basically kind of like a micro game. Each player has 35 cards apiece, and they get to have convoys. And it takes place in the Neuroshima universe. Which
I've been wanting to go into that, the Neuroshima games.
Yeah, it's it's like very post-apocalyptic Fallout-y looking. So that's your thing.
I mean, that's why I picked up. What's the game again? It's right here. It's 51st State. I knew it had 51 in it.
Right. Yeah.
And even though, like you said, it was Imperial Settlers before, it was streamlined and made better. But I was like, yeah, but
still cool.
It's post-apocalyptic.
It's cool to have it. Every time I hear the title, it sounds like the Adam Sandler movie 51st Dates.
Oh god. No, every time I hear it, I think it's like some dark show, like 51st State, like they're seceding, they're gonna blow up the president,
like Homeland or
24. Yeah, like something like that. That's what it sounds like to me.
And what's your favorite animated Fox sitcom that was canceled and then came back that isn't Futurama?
Has Simpsons been canceled ever?
Nope. Your only option is Family Guy, which was recently announced. Gale Force 9 is coming out with a Family Guy themed game titled Stewie's Sexy Party Game.
You know what? I'm actually surprised it took them so long.
It almost seems like it might be too late. I don't know. Family Guy is still pretty popular, I guess. But
no, I think Family Guy is still, like, Simpsons, I think is, I mean, it has a lot of viewers, but I mean, to me, everyone I know doesn't like watching it anymore.
Right.
But I feel like Family Guy still people like watching, because Family Guy has that, I want to call it the internet sort of ideal now. It's sort of like, you not really have one long story. You have just gag, 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 gag,
It's
gag.
good for YouTube videos and
but it's the
Netflix.
kind of thing you put in the background, maybe. So more,
Yeah.
I think it's still. I can see it still being a reasonable.
I think
game.
there must have been some other Family Guy party game. Wasn't there like some fight the chicken game or something?
Probably,
I don't
but
know.
I mean, I could see this working out. I mean, just being and sort of not really like it's more of a Family Guy skin with just a. I mean, it's going to be similar. I mean, we see like Cards Against Humanity. I mean, there's plenty of Kickstarter similar, which I'm blanking on some of their names right now. But like, I think there is this trend of sort of which is really funny because we talked about it, how this trend for a game for you to be inappropriate and like bad
Gives you an excuse.
yeah, and I think this is just taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I think we're kind of vague on the rules really
Mm-hmm.
right now. But yeah, there's a spinner, and yeah, it sounds like Cards Against Humanity-esque. So yeah, I'm sure for people who are fans of Family Guy, I'm sure they'll get a kick out of it. Maybe we'll see. But I guess it is Gale Force 9. They have a good track record.
Yeah,
I
well, with all their licensed products, I think we've been
I don't know. Have they done anything that's like really a party game? That
not a party game, but I'm just saying like
I can't think of one.
out of their licensed games, I
Yeah.
feel like they've captured whatever the game was trying
all
to.
of them. I think they should do an
Right.
original game.
But I feel like the few we've played have done actually a great job actually capturing
Yeah.
the spirit of whatever said show is. And in fact, I would argue in some ways we could draw it to, like I said, the wrestling. I want a copy of it almost. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was a really great game. Like, it wasn't just here's wrestling. Like, you can use John Cena because John Cena's there.
And I can say the same thing with Homeland. I'd never seen the show Homeland, but it's still a fun game.
Right.
So,
So I can imagine that, like, I'm sure this will actually be a good, like, with Gale Force 9 on it, and frankly, Family Guy as a simple party game actually makes sense because simple, small jokes make very good party games.
yeah.
So,
So look forward to that coming out, I think, this year. Speaking of really simple, stupid party games.
Okay.
This one's interesting. This one's weird. Okay.
is it your new party game, Jonathan Takes Everyone to the Zoo?
That game's been banned in 7 countries. This is Looney Labs.
Okay, that's a good sign, I think.
The people who do Flux.
Yes,
They're
I know.
partnering up with Penguin Young Readers to create a game based on something that I would argue already is a game. Mad Libs. So they're making Mad Libs the game. I'd say basically it's like Cards Against Humanity, right? I think it's going to be the same idea where you get a Mad Lib and everyone competes to see where the funniest thing they can fill in the blank with is.
Well, I think it is a game, but the difference here is when I look at a Mad Lib, the original books, when we do them, it would be like a car ride, for example. So let's say we're in the car, they're driving. I'd write one, pass it to you, you'd write one, and then we each take turns writing one, and then we read it. So this way, this is different. This would be more, it's designed to be like a point system, and like you said, where everyone judges one. So it is a game, but I think it is different. It's not just we're taking the books and putting the word game on it. Like I could.
Mad Libs the game. It's just this book.
I mean, I enjoyed doing Mad Libs, and they can't like as a kid. Like I thought it was fun. So
We always did. I think. Well, I don't know what we did, but I think the classic way of doing it is one person just says, "Give me an adjective, give me a noun," and then they read it back, and everyone
that was a way that we did too. But I mean, the idea is it was sort of like you all wrote one story. This way is this. I assume, like you were saying, the game is the opposite. Everyone writes their own story.
Right. Yeah.
Which I think could be a really fun way to do it.
Yeah.
It might be, what would be interesting is you actually lose a point or something if 2 people use the same word on something. So you have to try to be like.
Yeah, you have to be creative. It's too obvious.
For example, I know there's certain words I know certain people would be like like the same.
Anytime there's a noun.
Oh please! You think they're gonna pay attention to the rules there?
Yeah. Also a good game because this could easily be the most kid friendly and the most adult game possible.
Yeah. So I could see it working out.
Actually, it seems and I'm sure Mad Libs is a pretty well-known license, so that would be pretty big. More new games though. It's not over. It's not over. This one's a little bit of a departure though. Doctor Who. As you know, our favorite
Doctor?
show. Yeah, my favorite Doctor, my favorite everything. Well, Warlord Games has recently got the license. There's already our Doctor Who.
I'm sorry, Warlord Games?
It's called Warlord Games. Warlord.
Got Doctor Who. Okay, now I'm very curious. Wait, is this Doctor Who's World War II comics? It's all based on that?
Maybe. Okay, so this is not going to be a role-playing game like they have, but they specialize in miniatures. So think more of like maybe a HeroClix style of. I don't know. I don't think they have details yet on exactly how the game will play. They're like working on it now, but we know they have the license. We know it's coming.
I am now, because you said it, just imagining HeroClix things like, all right, I have Iron Man and Cat in the Hat come to support, and he's going to use this item on it. Well, not so fast, because the Grinch is able to steal an item. Oh, no!
There's Dr. Seuss HeroClix?
No, but I'm saying, like you said, like HeroClix, and now I'm imagining them mixing together, okay. It seems like a really weird property, but I have I don't feel like I have the right to say weird things shouldn't mix. I mean, Smash Up is literally, we're going to throw Princesses and Cthulhu together.
I think most terms from Doctor Who would fit right in a Dr. Seuss book. Right?
I just imagine, actually going back to Family Guy, when they had the Grinch, when they're talking about what's this guy, the guy in the wheelchair, how he lost his the ability to walk. But like the Grinch had a rhyme, like, a more adult one, like, I'll kick your ass this time. I can't remember what the rhyme was.
What are you talking about?
In Family Guy, like the joke was how.
Oh, you're talking about Joe from Family Guy?
Yeah, how he lost the ability to walk. Yes, we are. But like Dr. Seuss had they had the Grinch, so he did a more adult rhyme or something. So now I just imagine people playing with the Dr. Seuss clicks, like I roll a die and.
Anyway,
so when they come out with this
line of Dr. Seuss HeroClix, Family Guy theme, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, but I believe there is a tabletop. I don't know. It's very vague, so I'm not sure if it is going to be miniatures or if it's going to be a standalone game. It is miniatures, but I don't know if it's going to be like HeroClix or like a traditional tabletop game. Anyway, they said they're going to have all the doctors in it, so don't worry, they'll have all the doctors in it.
All the doctors?
Yes, and all 12. Not.
I thought you said Dr. Seuss.
Wait.
Wait,
I said Doctor Who.
I thought you said Dr.
This whole
Seuss.
time you
Yes.
talking about Dr. Seuss.
Yes. That's why I was so amazing.
I thought
That's
you
why I
just
went
brought
back.
Dr. Seuss up.
No, I thought you said Dr. Seuss.
Well, this section of the podcast will go down in infamy. You were led
no, because I thought you said Dr. Seuss. I'm like, how is that going to be a game? So I'm just imagining like the Grinch. That's why I said the Grinch with Iron Man and stuff.
I thought you just thought it would be funny because there are different licenses to mix those.
No, I thought you literally said Dr. Seuss.
Oh, well, now that explains a lot about your reaction. Well,
I'm amazed it took that long for.
We almost missed it. If I didn't say that last part, neither of us would have ever known. We would have gone on the rest of our lives waiting for different things.
All right, now Doctor Who makes a lot more sense in a miniatures game.
Wow, then. Yeah, all 12 of the Dr. Seuss will be in this game. Wow, that was good. That's podcast gold right there.
Now, can you imagine though, Dr. Seuss miniatures like with HeroClix and stuff?
I think my thing just died, but it doesn't matter. That would be good. No, I think that's not what should happen. We just came up with something great. Two more stupid things. The last two pieces of news are stupid. You like stupid news.
Well, I'm friends with you.
You couldn't get stupider than what we just did. And I resent that. A new board game term has been added to the real dictionary. Sometimes we talk about the Scrabble dictionary. Well, they've added a term used from board games to the Oxford Dictionary.
Is it meeple?
You got it! Pretty much the only one that probably would have a chance. So...
I mean, that's good. I mean, it means board games are in the rise.
It has like the origin. It notes that it was first used during Carcassonne. I don't think it mentions the name of the person who coined it, though. But it has that's kind of cool. I feel like it's earned its place as a word. So good for you.
I was afraid you were gonna choose something like a really stupid word, like
it's like tap is now also has to turn a card sideways.
No, Magic with soup.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow that to happen. I can't think of any other board game term that is ubiquitous enough.
That's why it would be something stupid that it's like only used in one game. I was expecting like something really.
They're all real words, things that I can think of. And the other one, this is cool, mainly for us.
Okay. But stupid.
That's cool. I don't know. It's cool. It's just not. It's a bit more video game related. They're making a new version of Puzzle Quest, which is.
Oh, I heard about this.
Based on Magic.
Yeah, I was really excited when I saw them. I had to double check because that sounds really fun.
I think it's just slated for mobile stuff right now, like not DS or PSP or anything.
Probably should have seen that one coming.
I think it's just mobile devices. Yeah. But so probably means we won't play it. Yeah, but still, we loved the original Puzzle Quest.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
They kind of lost me with some of the when they
Didn't
started
the space one
pumping out.
ruin or something?
Yeah, the space one was pretty bad, and then I think they fixed it later, but I just lost interest by that point. But that seems like a no-brainer.
It's very interesting because Magic is really starting to spread out now, like across the other, and sort of somewhat related. Because the rumors are Nintendo's trying to, actually looking more into doing the movies and TV shows again. I think these big companies, Magic the Gathering, Nintendo, there's more that can come to mind. But, actually, Hasbro, we're seeing them already do it, are starting to look at...
Which technically I think is Magic the Gathering.
Right, but yeah. Hasbro, I think I'm keeping Magic by itself because it's almost its own.
Yeah, I know.
But... I think they're starting to look at Disney and seeing, okay, they're literally everywhere, and they're succeeding by being everywhere. Our characters are recognizable enough. I think it's time for us to spread out.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, granted, we could get a lot of bad movies out of them.
No,
yeah. I mean, like we said, Luigi, and who could forget the Mario Brothers movie?
Well, it's like you can look at the same thing like that Munchkin has done, kind of. I mean, you risk fatigue of your franchise, but if your stuff is good, then make as much as different versions as you can. I say.
And I mean, even though we don't play Munchkin as much, I don't think that's because it's a bad game. Like I mean,
I have to think about that.
Well, like Monopoly. I have to say,
yeah.
But like, I enjoy playing it every now. I enjoyed playing it, but it's just because there's so many other things I really want to get to.
Yeah.
And I think it is really cool that Munchkin is everywhere. It's hilarious.
Right,
I'm just waiting for Asmodee to take Munchkin.
Oh boy, that's a scary thought. Yeah, I mean, if people buy it, if it sells, do whatever you want.
Right. So I definitely think it'd be very curious to see how the Magic movie turns out.
Right.
And the Dungeons & Dragons movie.
Yep, that too, because I'm sure.
Because I think that would be a huge difference. In fact, I think some of these games that are popular games could easily be made in movies. I think Pandemic could easily be made.
Yeah.
Like it'd just be a generic disease movie, but have Pandemic.
I think we have a whole
on.
episode where we talk about games that should be TV shows or movies.
But I think we're starting to see this this trend happening amongst just general.
Yeah, cross marketing is the name of the game. Definitely, you want to have why have your brand in just one place when you can spread it all over? Sounded a little gross. That's all the news. We got some Kickstarters I know that caught our attention.
For me, a really one I've been excited about appearing is the Draco Magi expansion. I've had the first Draco Magi, I backed it, and I backed for I missed one, but he had prototype cards, and they're all in this set, and they're actually cut and designed in a way so they actually fit nicely with the decks. And I've loved them all. The artwork's cool. I played it with you, and we were like, it's definitely a very interesting tactical game because it's not simple just take everything, because sometimes it's like that land's worthless to me.
No, yeah, it's fun. The artwork is amazing.
Yeah, no, I love dragons, so.
I love dragons. So what's different? What's cool in this new expansion?
Well, I know they fan help at suggestions and stuff. So a lot of the dragons have much more really cool, weird abilities and stuff. I can't remember some all the time. Like one's a Hydra. And that's crazy. And plus, if you got any of the promos, like I said, or anything before, you actually get a cheaper Kickstarter level price. Sort of rewarding you for staying up with him.
That's always fun.
And so I'm excited to get more dragons, new levels. And I think what's nice, because I noticed when we played, each player pretty much has a mirror deck. They're the same. It's how the game works. And with more dragons, though, is more chance that, like, I know with when we played, because the same thing is in the Angelica
Regnum Angelica.
Regnum Angelica. Thank you. But I never felt like while I knew you probably had mirror cards of me, it never felt like we were playing the same cards. With Draco Magi, I did feel like, okay, he has a bronze dragon, I have bronze dragons. With these new dragon types, I think it'll be much better to be like, okay, I know he has bronze dragons in there somewhere, but he hasn't played any yet.
Right. More variety, more not guessing necessarily, but less certainty.
Yes, and you're actually going to get his Operation Faust soon.
Very soon. That should be coming from Kickstarter, too.
I'll be excited to play that because the prototype copy we got, I've loved. That was so much fun to play.
Yeah. And I believe we sell Draco Magi on our site, so if you want to give it a shot, if you didn't back it, you want to see.
Oh, I forgot to mention, there's pledge levels also to make a deal with battle bards, who we've talked about plenty on our show, to actually get music for the game, which is really cool because that's definitely something I feel like
music in games. Yeah. Was there another? There was a weird one I wanted to talk about. Was there any other? Oh, there was also the Sentinels thing. You want to?
Oh, right. I forget the name of the company. Foam Brain. Thank you. They do pretty much clothing and stuff, and I backed them for. I say that because when I first saw them, backed them, it was for King of Tokyo T-shirts, and that's what they had. But now they have one for a set for Sentinels, the multiverse. So if you're a fan of that, it's really cool. But they don't just have shirts. They actually have like glasses and mugs. Like, you know how when you go to Target or in the generic store, you know, the superhero Marvel glass? Yeah. They have that, but they have printed, like, they look like old comics and stuff for Sentinels and stuff.
That's cool.
So they're really turning out, like, if you looked at it, if you didn't know it was Sentinels, it looked like something you'd expect from the Marvel or DC line of, like, clothing, which I think is a really good, and I think it's perfect for Sentinels. I mean, it's a really popular game, and I think its characters should get out there more besides just being a game.
Like, I mean, they've done the comics, and they have a whole other spin-off game series. Yeah, definitely that's along the same lines.
Yeah, and I mean, I would love to see them start, the people recognizing and using their characters more, because I know something we talked about at Gen Con was there aren't as many cosplayers who actually do board game related stuff. Like, we did see some this year, which was like the Contessa was just amazing.
I saw another one. Someone did the steampunk guy from the cover of Munchkin Steampunk.
Oh yeah, that's good. But like, couldn't you? I feel like these characters should be like you know how if you go to any other convention you'll always see Batman, Superman.
Right.
I feel like these characters should be.
We need our own things to be.
This is the hero board gamers need.
The opportunities are definitely there. That's a pretty cool.
So I think this is definitely a great license for Brain Foam to pick up, and if you're interested in Sentinels at all, take a look. And plus, also another thing we've mentioned, there isn't a lot of board game gear in terms of clothing. So
yeah, more board game gear. The one I saw that it sounded cool is called Walls. Just because it's very weird and different. It's basically you build a maze. The goal is to get through the maze, but the way it works is there's a board with holes in it, like in a grid, and there's little pieces with pegs that you just stick in, and each one builds one wall, almost like a game of dots or something.
Yeah.
And it's competitive, so you're building the maze, and as you play, you can also like block off other people's paths and rearrange it to hurt them, and whoever gets through to the end first wins. But it just seemed like a really unique, cool idea.
It reminded me of this really old game I used to have. I think it's still around, and probably I'm sure someone will tell me what the game is because I'm blanking on the name.
Please do.
You move through a maze, but you take a tile off and push it to slide it, and you pretty much change the maze that way.
Huh. Or maybe I'm just envisioning like a rat lab experiment, so I don't know. But it sounds
so
like
pretty much
familiar.
It's a lot like how when we play Noir, how we move cards around, it move like that.
Interesting.
So you'd be trying to get to the maze, but then someone's moving things around and they're like, no, that's a dead end now.
But yeah, it sounds like a good thinky kind of interesting design, but simple at the same time.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be a lot of silly fun of just going around. I'm almost and I'm blocked off.
Yeah, lots of hurt feelings. So you can check out Walls or the other two we mentioned.
I just imagine now, like if you're playing with more than two people, that two of them just gang up on one person, just keep them locked into one small square.
You just never end the game. You just troll one guy and just go in circles. We kind of sped through everything that we had to talk about. I want to give them their money's worth. All
right, you want to talk about Dr. Seuss and Dr. Hicks?
Let's go on with what do we need? The Dr. Seuss game. Topic of the week. Doctors, your Yurtles. It's a dexterity game. You're stacking Yurtle the turtle. Nailed it. Yeah, I don't know.
But
anything?
well, recently we went out to IKEA to actually grab some furniture.
Yeah, that's true.
For our board games, which is very interesting. I'm very curious to see actually what other people do for.
We should put pictures up of our new setups.
Yeah.
Well, you got all new shelves.
Right, from our board games. Well, you got yours for a TV. What you got for the TV so you can actually have more room for your games.
Right, I got a TV stand that had shelves on it so I could move all my DVDs off my board game shelves and make them board game shelves.
But yeah, which is
nice.
why I looked back here earlier for 51st State, because this is where my board game collection is.
It's much more, it's
nicer.
It looks very nice. Yeah, neater, tidier.
I'm curious to know what other people use. Do they have the same shelves? Do they build their own?
Yeah, so there's your for next time. Write in. And there's your hook.
That's definitely what I want to hear from, because I mean some of these games, like a lot. If you notice on here, if you're looking behind me, and I'm sure if you see behind almost every other board game video or podcast, usually the person has a wall of board games behind him to prove he is a board gamer. But they're usually the nice 12 by 12-ish. But some of them are not that size. Like I actually took out 2 shelves so I can put long games there.
Yeah.
Which in the end they didn't even fit all my long games, so now they're on another shelf next to it.
Right. Yeah. So it can be a challenge.
And another big thing I'm very curious to see what people do are the small games. Like I got 2 cartons at IKEA where I literally just threw all my small games in there. Right. But I'm wondering, do you have a special way? Because those are not. I usually have a unique size.
Yeah.
Those come in. Some are like this, some are long.
I have a bunch of small ones that I just put in weird piles on top of the shelf. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So definitely, if you have an interesting setup or you made your own shelves or have somewhere you went that you really like, we've talked about shelves before, but talk to us again.
Yeah.
You can leave a comment right on this video. We'll talk about it. We'll read it on the show. Or you can send us an email. Our address is rollforcrit@gmail.com.
And of course, you can reach us through Twitter @rollforcrit and our personal Twitters.
Which are on the screen too. And the most important thing of all, please go ahead and visit our website, rollforcrit.com. We sell lots of games, ones we talked about today, other like Neuroshima Hex, and other Gale Force 9 games, and Sentinels of the Multiverse, and lots more. Plus, we have really cool videos, like I said. Ticket to Ride just went up. We're going to have a video later this week about a Munchkin expansion you can look forward to. So please go there, check us out, tell your friends, subscribe, like, read, do, think, react, obey. That's what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and hope you have a good. Hope you play some games this week.
Yeah, we've got a busy weekend in front of us. This was actually recorded before our usual game night.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we play, and we'll talk about it next week for that.
Probably something good.
We always say that. But for now, I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes, and this has been Roll for Crit.
I seriously thought you said Dr. Seuss.